cold came in with a fast. Yeah, we were in California, Joseph, when it happened, so it ain't our fault. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. Open mic, slightly different. I know you atheists are all trembling in trepidation. Who's going to get whacked tonight? We do Whack an Atheist on Wednesday night.
Oh.
We're going to let you all have a night off, okay? Even though what you believe is stupid, and we still would like to whack you and knock some common sense into you, we're not going to give you a break, okay? God made the world in 6 days like he said he did and wrote a book about it, okay? And the book is flawless, perfect. Anyway, tonight, we're going to have Terri LaPoint on in just a minute. She's running for U.S. Congress from Alabama. Alabama has, what, 7 congressmen, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're on a bunch of different channels, TikTok, Facebook, Rumble, X, Instagram, our own app, Ken Hovind TV. Sign up for all of them. That way, if they take us off of one, we'll find us someplace else. Okay, let's see. No, that's not that one. I got that. Let's see right here. Joseph and I flew out to Los Angeles and spent the last 2 days spent how many hours did he videotape? George Janko show, about 3 or 4 hours of videotaping with us, and he's going to edit in the slides and stuff, and then put it up maybe a week or two. So praise God. If you want me to be on your channel, call me. I'd like to do 4 or 5 a day. Call Joseph, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4. Say, book him, Joseph. Friend or foe, I'll come on your channel, talk about why I believe the Bible is true. Here we are, December the 3rd. Terri LaPoint from North Central Alabama, down here running for Congress from District number 3. If you want to join us for holidays, come on down. We'll be your family. Some of you don't have family or don't have family close enough to go visit. Come spend Christmas with us. It's all free. We'll put you up, house you, if you stay too long, put you to work. Okay, help us to open for free by joining our 777 Club. If you like what we're doing, say, Brother Hovind, I'm going to support you $1 a day. 31 bucks a month. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1. Joy, you answer that one. And Bobby answers extension 2. I answer 3 when I can. I shouldn't say that, brother. Ever since I said that, I've had 20 million phone calls. That is my extension, though. So, okay, I'll talk to you. Our website is drdino.com. We've been open for almost 9.7 years now. I got to change that. We just want to help get souls saved. Okay, Alabama is divided up into 7 congressional districts for the U.S. Senate, okay? Here we are in Lenox, way down here where the star is. Let's blow up this area. And you, Terri, are from St. Clair County?
You're up.
Okay, folks, another technical problem. I think we're back on. So if you missed the intro, too bad. Do I do it again, Joseph?
No, it's on mine.
Okay, already got it. Been on the George Janko show. That was a blast out in Los Angeles. Apartments are $5,000 a month. Wow. Can you believe that?
They're proud of it.
Yeah, and just to drive around cost and almost $5 a gallon for gas. I like Lenox, and I like the Lenox, Alabama traffic. We had a car go by yesterday. Everybody got excited. Anyway, well, come join us for Christmas. We left off there. We'd have a lot of people come visit us for holidays. We'll be your family. Come on down. Stay too long, we'll put you to work. Okay, Terri is from St. Clair County up in central Alabama. The founders of this country back in 1776, they made a declaration of independence. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. Time to get rid of the British is a Hovind translation to that. These guys said, these wise founding fathers said in 1776, right here, this is part of our Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. In other words, it's true, and it's obvious that it's true, okay? All men are created equal. They're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. That's the purpose of government, to make sure everybody gets their rights established, okay? The purpose is not to control lots of other things. It's to get rid of evildoers that are trying to trample on your rights, okay? They derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. The founders of this country believed in a very limited government. Provide for defense from enemies, foreign and domestic, and punish evildoers. I wrote a book on the topic. I'd like to give you one, The Kennel, about the prison system. We should not even have a prison system. You know, judges and congressmen can own stock in the prison system. Terri, if you get elected, shut that down, okay? Take that home with you, okay? Every other power is left to the states or to the people. Read the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Federal government's involved in lots of things they have no business being involved in, not their job. They did not intend for the federal government to be involved in welfare or health care. None of their business. That's a state issue. And if your state gets too restrictive, too many regulations, too many taxes, well, move. That's the way they wanted it to be. The states would then keep each other in line. So see, when the government runs health care, welfare, all that kind of stuff, that's communism/socialism is what it is. So in Genesis 5, and when Noah gets off the ark, God said, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. God said, Noah, set up a system of government where if somebody kills somebody, y'all get together and kill him. Capital punishment. See, there's certain crimes you got to execute them. That's all there is. Then we read in Proverbs 29, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So, Terri LaPoint wrote this book, Voices That Will Not Be Silenced, Child Abductions by Authorities. And you've been doing this research on this. Got her in the screen here? Is she showing in the screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. And you want to, you've been writing on this topic of government taking away children. So yes. Your mic's on, I believe. Tell us who you are, where you're from. I got a list of questions for you here.
Okay.
You read for Real News Spark, online publication, Families Fighting for the Rights of Their Children. So here we are. There are 4 people running, 3 Republicans. Terri, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it's going to be a primary.
Primary.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You've decided to run for U.S. Congress to represent the state of Alabama. Mm-hmm. Tell our audience who you are and why you're running, what you believe on key issues, what you'd like to see fixed in Congress if you're elected, why they should vote for you, and how to contact you. I'll leave that up so you can go through those one at a time.
All right. All right, so my name is Terri LaPoint, and I'm a mom. I was a homeschool mom. I was a labor doula and childbirth educator. I thought I was going to be a midwife, but even before that, I went to Bible college. I thought I was going to be a missionary, and God kind of directed me a different path. But God in his infinite wisdom knows what he's doing.
Amen.
I've been on a journey to trust him. So somehow in there, I ended up accidentally becoming an investigative journalist.
Okay.
So I had seen a couple stories of government overreach, taking children from families, from an innocent family. They called it medical kidnapping up in Boston, where a medical disagreement between two different doctors, and the family got caught in between, and they almost destroyed this young lady's life. I thought, this is crazy. This is not the way the American government works. This can't be. This is an anomaly. Then I saw another story. Right. I saw another story. And then I wrote a little bit about it. And I was approached by the editor of Health Impact News. And he said, hey, we're getting so many of these stories in. We're going to start a website called medicalkidnap.com.
Wow.
Would you be interested in investigating these stories? And I said, yes, because I want to know, is this a threat to just normal families around America? What is going on? I don't understand. So I started digging, and I'm a researcher. I want to know the truth. And I don't care how bad the truth is. I want to know the truth.
Me too.
Absolutely. So I started digging into this and got more and more stories. For 4 years, I covered just about either 1 to 3 stories, 1 to 3 articles, families a week for 4 straight years. And there were so many more that I could have covered if I simply had enough time in the day to do it. I worked constantly. You can ask my husband. I was working constantly, digging into all of this. So then I ended up writing this book because I found out about let's say this mother here was taken, her baby was taken by Child Protective Services on grounds never should have been taken. Placed with strangers, not with family, not with the grandparents. They should have been. There's no reason. And then the mother was killed by someone here illegally. So then the baby was adopted out to strangers. The grandmother became good friends with the senator. Some of your viewers may recognize this lady here. This is Senator Linda Collins Smith from Arkansas. And the grandmother and Linda became really good friends, digging into trying to find out what's going on, the funding, the history, talking to all kinds of different people. And they found hard evidence of trafficking of children through the foster care system. And they were just about to expose it on a show, and the senator was murdered 4 days before she was to go on that show. So this is their friendship. This show has a lot of information that is not, that the media didn't talk about.
Your book does.
My book does,
Where do you get it?
It's on Amazon. My website, realnewspark.com/book. You can find it there. That way you can get a signed copy.
We'll put something up on in the comment section of our place too.
Okay.
Okay, now so there's a medical department, there's medical kidnapping. Suppose the government decides, we think everybody should get a shot, a vaccine of some kind. And some parent says, that's my kid, I don't want my kid to have that shot.
Which should be your right.
Yeah.
Because this is America, we should have a freedom to choose that kind of thing. That's a valid choice, that's parenting.
But the drug companies that are selling those shots,
right.
it's all money.
It is. It's all money. It all goes back to the money. So kids are taken for those kinds of reasons if they maybe have a complex abuse, that's all it is, and they go after the parents. Parents have gone to prison, they've lost their kids.
Wait a minute, so a doctor can make that call. Of course, he's getting paid big bucks to sell drugs.
And they're also getting funded. These are child abuse pediatricians. They're funded through Health and Human Services.
Oh,
we found, they don't work like regular doctors, and they're at all of our children's hospitals. Parents don't even know this. They have no idea. They think they're talking to a doctor, and they're trying to find out what's going on with their kid. They want to find an answer. What happened? I don't know what happened. Why my child is having this reaction? They're trying to find out. And this doctor, they don't realize that this doctor is acting as part of the prosecution, building a case against them. They're not actually trying to help them. So this is a huge problem. So, So there's tons of articles about medical kidnapping. We're finding out more and more. It's the federal funding, though, because what I started seeing was I would see the same stories in California as I saw in Georgia, as I saw in Wisconsin, as I saw in Florida, all across America. Red states, blue states, purple states, didn't matter. The same stories were happening over and over and over like a script. And when you see that, you realize it's not just a state issue.
Right.
It's a federal issue.
That's why the founders said the federal government only has 2 basic functions, and healthcare is not one of them.
Right.
We should completely shut down the Department of Health and Education. Not the federal government's to educate people. It's the states. It's the parents.
Right, and I actually was involved with, I wrote the first resolution in the state of Alabama for the parental rights bill that says that parents have the fundamental right to direct the care, upbringing, and education of their children.
Amen.
And that finally passed in 2023. So yes, parental rights, but the it's through the Department of Child Welfare, through Health and Human Services, that these kids are being taken. And the money that is being used is Social Security money.
Oh, brother.
It's actually our Social Security money, Title IV, B, D, E, all of that is dealing with child custody and child protective services. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The foster care adoption system, we think as Christians, we want to take care and help the orphans. But nowhere in the Bible, well, I challenge you to find it, where the Bible tells you to make a child into an orphan so that then you can continue to adopt them.
It's evil.
It doesn't say that. So Christians have been used by the system largely. The system will actually target churches and recruit them to foster and adopt, but it's a supply and demand system.
Right.
So less than 16% of the kids that are taken for reasons of any kinds of abuse. The whole reason that system exists is because of child abuse, but close to 85% of those kids are not abused. They never were. But you put them in foster care and they're more likely to be, at least 6 times more likely to be raped, molested, abused, or killed in foster care than if you left them with their own family. And you talked about Big Pharma. So the children who are wards of the state can legally be used for medical research and drug testing without their parents' knowledge or consent. It's a crazy loophole. We had the Nuremberg Code that would that would ensure that we don't do that, but the judges and social workers just give consent in lieu of the parents. So it's a crazy, crazy system that we're so used to hearing about it that we don't even question, should this be?
Right. It's like prisons. People don't even think, shut them down. Find them, beat them, or kill them, and the problem's solved. We don't need prisons.
Well, I'm thinking.
You read my book. I give it to you. Okay.
Okay. Will do.
That's another story. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, it's a for-profit industry,
right.
multi-billion dollars, and so the funding that is for keeping families together. Maybe a family's struggling. They need help keeping the power bill on.
Sure.
They need help with it's just a minor issue. Maybe they've fallen on hard times and they've fallen into some sin. They're on drugs and they need help getting off of it. They need to deal with the problem so they can get off it. Maybe they actually do need somebody to step in and take care of those kids for a little while the parents can get their act together and get better. But instead, we beat them down. The system just beats them down, takes the children, takes them away, terminates parental rights, and of course, the children, and you've probably seen this, I mean, most people have seen children that truly need help many times are left in the system or they're not even taken away. Mm-hmm. And I found out why. You probably wonder why that would happen, but it took me a long time, or about a year, to finally figure out. They consider the children that are truly abused to be damaged goods who are unadoptable. They're looking for the children who are adoptable. They literally will say that in court. So fast forward, I'm working on talking to legislators. I'm going to Washington, D.C. several times a year. I'm going to Montgomery, talking to legislators, working on legislation, and really feeling this tug from the Lord to run for office. And I told God, I gave him my yes. Lord, here am I, send me wherever it is. If you want me to go to the mission field, whatever you want me to do, Lord, here am I, send me. And he said, I want you to go into government. Okay. And then when he made it clear what position he wanted me to run for, I said yes. But it's God has to provide. God has to do this. Amen. And I need help. I need people to know and understand what's going on.
So do you like living among snakes?
No, I really don't.
Okay, well, that's what you're headed for.
But to be honest, I think God gives you grace for where he calls you
Sure.
to. So when I go to Washington, D.C., I'm walking the halls and I'm prayer walking. I'm
Good.
praying for the people that are there. I love going in there and praying with people.
Yeah.
And we've prayed with people in congressional offices, and that's always fun. Not everybody wants you to.
No.
I could tell you some stories, but I don't. but I went to an Eagle Forum one-day policy event last year, and that was kind of like the light bulb moment of hearing all of the problems that they're dealing with on the state level, but I'm realizing that all of these things are connected to federal funding.
Yep.
So no matter how much you fix it on a state level, until you deal with it on the federal level, it's not going to be fixed. Mm-hmm. So President Trump's big, beautiful bill fixed some things, but I don't think that what I'm talking about is even on his radar. I really don't. So, but I extrapolated, and there's so many things, and I've been involved in talking to politicians and paying attention to legislation for quite some time. So these things that I'm seeing with child protective services and guardianship abuse with the elderly, different things, they still apply in other areas. Mm-hmm. So we can take these same principles, that holding government accountable, let's fund what we need to have funded, and let's incentivize the right things, because what we have now is a perverse financial incentive to do the wrong thing.
1 Timothy 6, love of money.
Yeah. So what I see in DC is a lack of the fortitude to stand up for what's right, no matter what.
Maybe it's that, or maybe it's they're also being funded by these pharma companies to keep quiet.
Bingo. I think that's a big part of it. Yeah. So my soul is not for sale, and I've been consistently fighting for families for quite a long time. And it's not about money for me. I'm happy with my life. I'm married to a firefighter. He's amazing. You know, we have a great life. I don't need that. I want to make a difference, and I want to see families restored. I want to see America be what our founding fathers envisioned, what God envisioned, because God made America. God established America. God has a plan for this country, and we need people in Congress and, well, in all levels of government. We need people that are godly people. We don't need godly people to step away and be afraid to be involved in government. Government is part of the mission of Jesus. He said, you know, was it the Handel's Messiah we sing about, and the government shall be upon his shoulders.
Right.
And so governing is part of Scripture.
Sure, there's 2 books, 1st and 2nd Kings, Judges. Yeah, I mean.
Right,
okay.
Right. Yeah. So we need godly people. And I know that many, probably in your audience, you probably have a lot that have been praying for God to raise up godly leaders. Well, God is raising up some godly leaders. I'm seeing it in different places, and we need godly people to get on board and support us and help knock on doors and get the message out. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's financial. Some people can donate and help fund campaigns. Get the signs cost money. All these things cost money. So, but even word of mouth, talking about it, getting the word out, that makes a huge difference. And pray. Keep praying. I know y'all, I'm going to talk straight to the audience here. I know that many of y'all are praying. You're praying for godly government. You're praying for things to change. Get involved, keep praying. And when you see somebody that is godly, that is running, get behind them and keep us in your prayers.
Amen. So one of the key issues is the government funding is what's responsible for the problem with children being taken away, medical experimentation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, if somebody's in need, that's really a church issue or a family issue.
Yeah, right.
Why is the government involved at all?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That is a good question. There's so much that the church should be doing, but many times that the government has taken that away from the church, and the church isn't involved. But I've seen some really good programs where somebody's in danger of having their child taken by Child Protective Services, and then they need a crib, or they need this or that, and they call a local church, and they get on with their members, and they provide, and they're bada bing, bada boom, and you've saved a family.
So in Alabama, how bad is this problem of children being taken away by government that should not be taken away?
It's rampant. It really is. As far as for abuse, we're a little bit better than the national stats. It's 19%. are taken for reasons of abuse, not 16%. But it is rampant. The biggest story I ever did happened in Shelby County, Alabama, where they took the newborn baby of a 14-year-old rape victim on grounds that they knew were bogus at the time. That story.
The 14-year-old wanted to keep the baby and raise it?
Yes, she told her grandparents, she was living with her grandparents, and she said, I don't believe in abortion. Thank God.
Yeah.
She said, if you will help me, I will keep this baby and I will love this baby, but I need your help.
Yeah.
And they said, of course, absolutely, we will do that. And I was actually at the hospital when they took the baby, and it just blew my mind. They knew that the grounds were bogus, and they did it anyway. But that story hit 1 million views overnight, and people were making phone calls, and we got the baby and the mother back together, and now she's got a couple more kids, because that's been quite a little while ago. She's got a couple more kids. She's got children that were never removed, children that were able to have that bond at the very beginning. So it's beautiful.
That's why I say with the abortion issue, abort the father. If it's a rape victim,
right. Well, they weren't prosecuting him. That was a whole other thing. He had been involved with several underage girls, and they didn't. By the time they finally arrested him, after we went public with the story, he was on record for at least six of these crimes against young women. But
Louisville Slugger can fix that, I think.
That could be, yeah. Okay. So, but the thing, it does happen. We get calls all the time. Alabama DHR just took a baby of a newborn baby, a 2-week-old baby of the Tennessee baby. Crazy story. I've covered autistic child where he eloped. That was the term they used. When they leave the house, they kind of escape. They're little Houdini children, and he had escaped, and so they're really good at getting out of doors. I mean, they were doing everything they could to keep the kid from getting out, and he got out, and so they came and took all 7 of the kids from the family over that. It's in every area in Alabama. We've got some Baldwin counties having a lot of stories coming out of Baldwin County, Shelby County, different places where some places are worse than others. There are a few places where they're actually working like they're supposed to, and they really are helping children, and so we just don't have enough of that.
If you became congressman from Alabama, you would have an office where people would know who to call. Hey.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And there's some advocates that are working and fighting to help people. So we actually, Representative Barry Moore, who's running for Senate now, but he's a representative in, he may be this district, possibly. He's sponsoring our bill that's an Advocates for Families Act that says that if you take Title IV-B money, which they all do, every state does, that you have to allow families to have an advocate. It's a real simple bill, but it can make a huge difference, and it doesn't cost any money.
Right.
Costs no money.
Okay. So you want to see that issue fixed, okay? Are there any other major issues you see going into Congress that you would like to?
Well, the trafficking. The trafficking of children is huge. So the foster care system is the largest supplier of children for the child sex trafficking industry.
Wow.
Yeah, the Department of Justice said that, and I will never forget reading those words. So border security, we've got, and that incident in Washington, D.C. right before Thanksgiving shows we've got to do a better job of vetting who comes in our country. There's our veterans. I mean, I come from a long line of veterans, and so that we're doing right, taking care of our veterans, those who serve our country, but there's a lot that we could do better.
Right.
There really is. And there's some specific legislation I'm looking at, and so.
Well, good. And how do they contact you?
They contact me by, on my website is terrylapointforcongress.com.
Put that back up here.
Okay.
Terri LaPoint. Good French name, huh?
Yes. And then on Facebook, I'm all over Facebook. You can just go to my personal Facebook page, Terri LaPoint, and follow there, or you can follow Terri LaPoint for Congress Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Wish you the best. So How did you like Dinosaur Adventureland? It's your first time to come.
I loved it.
And you took the real tour
I did.
and survived.
We did. It was a little harrowing
Oh,
at
come
points.
on.
I was holding on to the strap, but I love it. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah, we tell those ropes all over the Jeep. Those are the "Oh Jesus, help me" ropes. You know, I have so much fun doing that. So, do you recommend people come?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What about the price to get in?
You can't beat it. I mean, my
Yeah, you
goodness.
could. You could be paid to come instead of just free.
Well, okay. Their point.
Joseph and I went to the La Brea Tar Pits yesterday.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
And it's $20 to park your car, and then $20 to get in to see tar. I've already.
We did it though.
We did it. I remember when they flew me down in the helicopter to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and the pilot of the helicopter said, "Folks, we just went back 300 million years." I looked at my watch; it was the same day. I said, "I want my money back." We didn't go back at all. Well, thank you so much for coming down. Please encourage others to come. We would like now. We open my platform up to any politician that's running, even if you're opponent. I'll grill them, say, "Okay, where do you stand on this, and why? Why don't you want to do anything about child trafficking?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Epstein Island. Yeah. I actually covered the medical kidnap story of an Epstein Island survivor when they took her baby. But we got the baby back. It took 5 years.
Well, the U.S. attorney who came after me to put me in prison, right after they locked me up, he flew to Detroit to have sex with a 5-year-old, got off the plane with Vaseline and a doll, and they arrested him and he hung himself in jail. It's in high levels.
It really is. It's awful.
Yeah.
It is awful. And I believe that they're blackmailing politicians. They're blackmailing people at high levels.
Yeah.
But we have to fight.
Yep.
We cannot give up. We've got to fight. And I think that that's one of the biggest things is we've got to be persistent. We've got to know what is right. We've got to be in the Word and stand on what is right.
Who was the famous person years ago who said, "All that's needed for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing"?
Right.
Who was that?
I've heard that
Me, I just said it. Okay.
I've heard that it was Einstein. I've heard that it was Martin Luther King Jr. I've heard different people.
It's true no matter who said it.
It is true,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. And let's see, your husband Paul's been here. How do you like Dinosaur Adventureland? Retired firefighter. And I asked you today, how many house fires and fires do you go to that are caused by stupidity? And you said, all of them, as far as you know. I believe it. If we can help. Okay, let's take questions from the audience, from the viewing audience there, Joseph. Anybody sending any questions for Terri?
Well, I think it was a piece of advice.
What's that?
Here it is, on screen. Can you see it?
No, we can't see the screen at all. This one's off.
Sorry.
Okay, it says, to get in, be a Republican, but don't preach, just do. Talk to people, give the news without using God, because the news will go against you and hurt you. Hey, you're ready, play smart, he says.
So use Republican to get in the Congress, but then don't mention God once you get in,
Yeah, go along and get one.
because the news will come after you.
Disagree. Yeah, I mean,
Stand up, what's right.
my slogan is God, families, freedom. That's the point. And absolutely, that's not just a slogan for me. It's who I am. It is the core of who I am.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank you. Anybody's welcome to make a comment. All right. Any more there, Joseph?
None. I mean, a lot of people are saying how heartbreaking it is. A lot of people are praying for you, whether the red or blue.
Thank you.
Because this is a
Thank you.
big undertaking, but that's about it. A lot of support for you.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you know anybody else who's good Christian morals, or at least, see, a lot of the founders were not Christian, but they were indoctrinated with Christian teaching and thinking. They thought that way. That's the way they were raised.
Right.
And that's what they made a great start for this country, and we pretty well messed it up, 250 years.
Well, yeah, and you can interact with people as a Christian, as a strong believer, without compromising your values, and still relate to people from different faiths, from different. I mean, because America we are a melting pot, and I work with people from all different backgrounds, and I work well with people. I think it is important, and Charlie Kirk reminded us of this, to make sure to listen to people who don't think like you.
Right.
Because we can always learn something. There's something that we can learn from each other. If it's just seeing another person's perspective, yeah, let's do
Amen.
it.
Well, great. Thank you, man. So if we carry this book in our bookstore, would that help you if we ordered, 20 of them and keep it on the shelf? And
Absolutely.
okay, get with Joseph's wife, Bobby, and let's do that.
Okay.
And Joseph, add that to our repertoire. If you want to get it, you can get it from her, get it from us. We won't undercut you. We try to give stuff away as cheaply as possible. So
Okay.
we want to get them. We're trying to win a war, not build a castle. Amen. All right. So those that disagree, keep studying. We'll wait for you at the top of the mountain of truth. Okay. Thank you for joining us. We stayed up all night on an airplane. They flew us from California to Miami and then back to Pensacola. I'm ready to go to bed early, Joseph.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you tomorrow. We'll have open mic for you who believe in evolution. The title is Evolution is the Dumbest and Most Dangerous Religion in the World. Prove me wrong. Okay? All right. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.